Hi everybody, here we go for another 1cc. This time it will be on Gradius Rebirth, which you can play on Wii. The game was released in 2008 in Japan and well in 2009 for the rest of the world. Why Gradius Rebirth? Because I think it's a good way to enter the Gradius universe. It's actually a remix of the Gradius of the Game Boy, which is called Nemesis, and it takes part from Gradius 2, made for the old computer MSX. Here I'll focus only on the first loop because, well, I played the sissy way, so the first loop is quite enough. Then I'll be playing type B, which is a good ship for beginners. I'll explain why during the run. So here we go. So you may know, you got a weapon bar at the bottom of the screen. Each time you collect a power-up, you enlighten one weapon. So here I take 2 speed-ups, then I take the missiles. So this is the first reason why I've chosen type B. The missiles go up and down, so it's a good way to cover a large part of the screen. Then I will take the laser, which is the second reason why I'm using type B, because the laser, as you can see, the laser opens up, so it covers a large area of the screen as well. So the first stage is kind of a long corridor, so it's quite useful to have those missiles. Here you have an orange, an orange tank, so, and a white one. Do destroy the orange one, so the stage will freeze right now, and it will be easier if you do destroy the white tank. The stage will be harder. And well, here it reminds me of Gradius Gaiden, whose first level is in the ice as well. So as you can see, try to stay in the middle of the screen, because as you may have noticed, some enemies will come from the rear, and so stay in the middle of the screen and don't go too far up or too far down, because they will eat you in the back. So after missiles and laser, I try and get as many options as possible. The options are those kinds of satellites, the orange satellites, which follow my ship. So I have quite a big firepower so far. I don't have any shield so far. It's because on the first ball there is an easy tip to use to kill it easily, but if you have a shield, the shield would be destroyed. So the first boss is already here. You just have to stick right here in the middle of the screen on the left side, and you don't move at all. The lasers won't hit you anyway. If you had a shield, the lasers would touch the shield, so it would destroy the laser, not your ship, but the shield, and it's already destroyed. So level 2, I will get first my 4th option. You can have 4 options maximum in this game. Then I'll try to have max power for my missile, I think, and then I'll try and have the shield. Note that the game was developed by M2 Studio. M2 is responsible for the port of the Mushime-sama Futari on 360, which is a wonderful game and a wonderful port. This game is actually quite good, Gradius Rebirth. It's not the best of the Gradius universe, but it's still a very good game, I think. So here we have another long corridor, kind of organic corridor. Also note that here is a run I have done in Scar Attack. This is not the normal mode. If you play normal mode, you can choose wherever you want to play, so you can train in different sections or where you need training. So I got my 4th options. Don't you bother with those cells walls. Actually, the more you shoot at them, the more they grow up. So just leave them alone and you'll be fine. Here's my shield. This is the 3rd reason, just to mention. Here, you see that grey spot at the screen? It's actually a warp zone to a bonus stage. I won't be using bonus stage here because I want to show you every bosses, but here was the first bonus stage. What was I saying? Yeah. The 3rd reason why the type B is quite good for beginners is because his shield is actually a force field all around the ship. If you use another ship, the shield is just a kind of don't know how to say it. You got 2 spots in front of your ships, and if a bullet comes from the rear, for example, you will be hit. So I think a force field is much better. Here, which is not a habit to have, but in this part you just have to play on the right side of the screen. From now on, I will use the traditional Gradius technique. Actually, you just have to keep in your power bar the last power up possible. You have to keep it lit. Yes, you have to keep it lit. So if you lose your shield, you just have to press the 2nd button to have a new shield, which is quite useful actually. Well, this game is not really hard actually, but some other Gradius games are quite hard, and this technique is quite useful. This one is not a 1 life. Actually, I missed once or twice probably on the 3rd boss, which is quite a pain in my ass actually. But this is actually a part of the game. In Gradius, losing lives is a part of the game. You get angry, you get frustrated because once you lose a life, you have to do the last part again, but without any weapon, which is quite hard, quite frustrating. But it's a part of the game. You have to deal with that. Here is the 2nd boss. He has 3 attacks. The first and the 2nd one are just like that. His arms coming to you, so you just have to avoid them. The 3rd one will catch the roof and the floor. So here is the 2nd one. Just avoid the arms. And the 3rd one, will catch the roof and the floor, and will press them on you. So you just have to stick on in the middle of the screen. Here it is. This boss is actually the same in Nemesis on Game Boy. Easier, but the same design. The third level is actually a kind of a habit in the Gradius series. It's well, I don't know how to put it in English. Maybe you should call it, I think, Easter Island. I hope so. You have the traditional head you can find on the Easter Island here. In every Gradius you have a level with those. So as you can see, I don't take all the power-ups just to keep the last part of my weapon bar lit, so I have a shield ready to use. Here comes the head. So to destroy them, you just have to stay in front of them, waiting for them to open. They will be destroyed quite fast. A good way is to you go forward, just a bit forward with your ship, then you go back So your options, your orange satellite, will go in front of you and fire missiles and lasers in front of you. So the heads will be destroyed before your ship is in front of them. You don't have to zigzag a lot here, just stay on a horizontal line and this will do. This is not really a difficult part. In many Gradius games, the Easter Island is quite difficult. It's not very difficult, it's much easier I think. Well, the other Gradius game, the first one, Gradius 1, is classic by now. Gradius 2 exists in different version for the MSX, for the NES, for the PC Engine, etc. Gradius 3 is really hard on the arcade version. You can play it on the Super NES, I think it's easier anyway on the Super NES. Note that Gradius 3 is the favorite game of Toshiaki Fujino, which is the director of Triangle Service. Triangle Service is the company which has done Trisil and Exil. I love those games. Gradius 5 is actually quite good as well, but I think it's really too long. It takes something like 1 hour 15 to clear the game, which is really too long for me. The game is beautiful, but too long. They should have made 2 games. So still, no need to zigzag a lot here. You stay on the line and that's it. Then that's here I'm gonna die. Told you, I try to keep the last part of my weapon bar lit, but here it will have me make mistake. Yes, I should have taken them. So you just have to avoid all those circles. Going up and down should do, but well, trying to avoid the power-ups, I'm doing mistakes. That's here. Crap. So I have to do it again, but with no weapon at all. Not that if you play in normal mode, not in score attack, so 1 speed up, 2 speed up, and missiles. What was I saying? Yes, if you play in normal mode, not in score attack, you can use the Konami code, which is up, down, down, left, right, B, A, and start during the pause. So you can have all the weaponry the ship can have. You can use it once per level, I think. It's actually another habit of the Gradius series. I think it comes from the first Gradius. I think the musician, don't know his name, asked the programmers for this code because the game was too hard for him. So he asked for a code in order to check if the music was good in the later part of the game. So here comes the third boss, which is quite difficult, I think, for me anyway. Well, not really difficult, but quite painful. Actually, you have walls on the left and on the right, but also up and down. They are quite dark, so you don't see them much, but there are walls up and down. Be careful with them. That's why I'm gonna lose 1 life again, I think. And I hate those bouncing bosses. So on the first attack of the boss, those kind of orange strings just have to go down and then right, slowly enough. Then try and stick to the left of the screen. Try to follow the bouncing ball so you can hit as many times as possible. And please, yeah, don't forget that there are walls up and down as well. So I'm going to do it once again. Same method, 2 speed ups and missiles. I was talking about the Gradius series. There are also other games in the Gradius series, such like Parodius, kind of parodia of the Gradius games. You got Salamander Life Force as well. Quite good games. Salamander 2 is quite good. Gradius Gaiden as well. It's really good. You can play it on the first PlayStation. You also have yes, not far from now, the Automedius series, which is just ridiculous. I think you have nothing to discover in Automedius. Other crap games in my own. So here comes again the third boss. This time it will do, I think. You may have noticed the game has rank actually. The more you have weapon, the more you have bullets. You may have noticed that on the previous part. But anyway, it's much better to have many options and to have lasers in this game, really. So don't you bother with the rank, just have as many weapons as possible. As you can see, I still have 3 spare lives after this one. Anyway, you don't miss lives in Gradius anyway. Most of the time you don't miss life. So, as I was saying earlier, you have to deal with the frustration, with the fact that you have to do things once again but naked. It's kind of, don't know how to put it in English. It's kind of frustrating, but well, this is part of the game. So I try and follow the bouncing ball to score as many as possible. That's why I take 2 speed ups for this boss, because 1 speed up is not enough to go around. And here we go to the 4th level. Actually, this is not a bad idea to lose a life on the 3rd boss, because the 4th level is maybe a bit harder if you have all your options and maximum firepower. You will see that in a few seconds. I have to mention, the game was patched after it's released, because there was a bug on the online score, but Konami did things well, because actually some musics were changed, some graphic details were changed, so it was a good patch. All the musics and all the ships, all the enemies come from other Gradius games. Mainly, as I told at the beginning, Nemesis on Game Boy and Gradius 2 on the MSX. So here we are. As you can see, you have dinosaur skeletons. If you hit, as you can see now, if you hit those skeletons, some bones will fly around you, which make the game quite difficult. So be careful, don't shoot if you don't need to. And it will do. Well, I'm losing my shield here because I hit the floor, which is stupid. Don't shoot too much because your missiles, yes, will hit the bones. So don't you shoot here, just avoid those kind of blue flames, well, not flame, those kind of blue spermatozoa in English, I think so. Keep an eye on those snakes. Apart from those bones, the level is not difficult. Here you can use this blue option to clear the way. Here you see this head on the floor. It's actually the entrance to the 2nd bonus stage. You have to go back in the mouth and you will access the next bonus stage. Here, those snakes. Stay where I am, avoid the bullets, and most of the time it will do. You can learn this section by heart if you prefer, but I don't think it's really useful actually. And at the end of it, you just have to go on the right side to avoid all of them. Yes, here. Go on the right side and you're fine. For the following section, just stay on the left side of the screen, just like for the first boss actually. Middle screen on the left side. But as I have a shield here, I have to avoid those blue spermatozoas, because I would lose my shield if I hit them. So this part is quite easy if you stay there. Then the boss is actually a new appearance of the first boss with something more complicated at the end. So you may use the same technique as for the first boss, but as I told you, I have a shield here, so I can stick on the middle of the screen. I would lose my shield, so I just have to zigzag a bit. The second part of the boss is maybe much difficult. Not much. It's maybe a bit harder, but not really hard. With 2 speed ups, you can slalom, you can zigzag much efficiently. First form destroyed, yeah, and second form coming on. So here you just have to avoid the little lasers, which is not really difficult, and you have to stay in the middle of those big lasers. It's maybe a bit harder. Don't know what hit me there. Haven't seen what hit me. And here we are. Actually, we have a lot of firepower with those lasers, so the bosses are not really hard. And here we go to stage 5, which is the last one. Only 5 stages here, which is quite enough. A run is something like 20-25 minutes, which is perfect for me. So same as usual, all the options, all the missiles, all the lasers, a new shield probably. Nothing special actually on this 5th level, because actually it's also a long corridor, so just try and stay in the middle of the screen. With the missiles you won't have much bother about. And the boss, well actually the mid-boss, but the last boss is really easy. In the Gradius series, last boss is always no skill, so the mid-boss is maybe a bit difficult, but I'll show you a tip in order to destroy it or a way to pass it as easily as possible. Just like level 3, go a bit forward, then go backward, so your options will be in front of you, which is quite useful. Elevator section, quite a habit in the Gradius games. Close my shield, but I don't have any shield left. Doesn't really matter actually. From now on, the game is not really difficult. So we arrive on the mid-boss. Just wait for a little enemy coming on the roof here. Destroy it, and then you have to stick your nose right where I am, at least on that wall. maybe a bit up or down, but on that wall. And you're quite safe. Well, quite safe. You're really safe. There won't be any bullet on you. With your option, you can destroy parts of the boss. You can also destroy the whole boss actually. But here, the place I have chosen is not the best one. So I probably won't destroy the boss. Anyway, it will time out, so you don't have to bother. Just have to wait a little and the boss will time out. Yeah, it's a shame. I'm not... yeah. Here I am. No, this is not the best position I could have chosen. Sorry. Then there's no credits roll. There's not credit roll at the end of the replay because it's a replay. So just I will mention it right now. The last boss is no skill. You just have to stick in front of it and shoot as much as possible. You will see some enemies coming at you, but actually they won't hurt your ship. You just they just want to rob your weapons. So your options, your lasers, your missiles will disappear, but actually your ship is out of harm, so it's quite alright. You just have to shoot at the big brain and that's all. It's actually to make you begin the second loop with no weapon at all. It's quite long this way. It's the 1-sissy way, it's quite long, that's it. Here you are, the boss has timed out. Last part of the game, still a long corridor. Still the options in front of you. A new shield. I really love that 8-bit feeling of the Gradius series. Of the Rebirth series, sorry. Even if the introduction is awful, the game is quite pleasant. So here, don't go too far on the right because of those turrets with short lasers at you. But anyway, with your options, it's quite easy. We are now entering the last corridor. This may be a bit tricky, but actually just do what I do. Stick on the floor, as much on the floor as you can. Here I'm not really on the floor because I don't want to lose my shield, but this is a mistake. Anyway, I will lose my shield in a few seconds. So the best way is to stick your ship on the floor and just stay where I am and shoot. Keep shooting. Sometimes you will have 1 or 2 bullets to avoid, and that's all. Here I lose my so I go much more on the floor, and I'm quite safe here. The 1-sissy way. Don't go too far on the left, because if an enemy is coming from the left, it will eat you in the back. Just wait here, before the wall. Wait, and go up. of course, don't wait for the door to close. And you're in front of the last boss. So here it is no skill, and there's no staff roll. So thank you for watching all of this. Thank you for accepting my awful English accent, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you'll see the next 1-sissy I'll be doing in English, and I hope to see you soon on shmupemal.com. Bye bye!